So hello everyone, welcome to the week 6 PR4 tutorial. So hopefully you might have worked out how to do this last section here, and I'll show you today how we do that. And after that's complete, you'll have a fully functioning web page. I'll also show you how to make the hyperlinks on this one here. So we'll author these up so you can have a fully functioning web page. But at the moment we'll go back to this bit here and we can see how this is constructed. So we're basically using a main container here. And I've got some of the div tags made already. So I've got a main container, and inside that I've got a div class first container. This one here, which starts there and finishes here. And next to that I've got a div class second. Okay, so basically I've got 50% on the left hand side, 50% on the right hand side, taken up with two different sections. And that works because we're using flex on the main container. So div class first, div class second. In the div class second, we've got these three other kind of subsections of div tags: second A, second B, and second C. So we can see that here. A, B, and C is the blue one down the bottom. So they become child elements of the parent properties of the second div class, this one here. And then when we make that, we then embed child elements again inside this last div class second C parent property. And what we do is we align these three items up here in a row, and this would to be replicating maybe perhaps a picture gallery or just some small text boxes. Okay, so it's fairly easy to do, and yeah, let's get started. So to get us started, I've just got the basic div tags made already and some properties already on them. So let's look at what we have then. So we've got the first main container. So the main container holds this grey section here, and on the right hand side of that, this yellow section. So that is called the first one, the first div class first and div class second, right? And the reason it's that size is because it has to do with the amount of content within it, okay? So if I take some more text and copy it, it will add in more space for us like so. So the size of that container, the size of the container is dictated by the amount of content contained within it. Okay, so I'll just do that and I'll get it back to the original size. And I'll now look at the CSS. So I've got the main container here, maximum width 900, margin 30 from the top. Let's see. Left auto, 0 at the bottom, and right auto. Okay, so that just means it's got a little bit of space at the top, 30 pixels here. If I take that out and make that 10, see it's smaller. And auto here, and I don't need any pixels at the bottom because we can't see anything. Now I've given that a background colour of grey that we can't actually see because it's a darker grey on the first section and a darker grey on the second section. Okay, so the first section and the second section, I've got a padding here of 30, and that just means that, let me see, if I make that up to 40, it makes the text indent by 10 more pixels. So that's the reason I've got that at 30 pixels there. And the background colour here is the dark grey, so you can see that corresponding. And we've got a flex 1 property on it, so that just means it's taking up one column, and the second one's taking up one column as well. So if I change that to 2, you can see it gets a lot bigger. If I change that to 3, it takes up 3 times the amount of size, back to 1. And if I give the flex, or the second div tag, flex 2, which is the yellow one, you can see how that takes up more space. So we'll just keep that at 1 each. Now the next thing we want to look at is these parts here. It says A, B, and C. So inside or nested inside the second div class div tag, we have a div class second-A, second-B, and second-C. Okay, and again we can see that takes the size of them is dictated by the amount of content within it. Okay, so if I take some maybe part of this paragraph C here and I put it in there, you can see that it builds up more space for us. So that gives you an idea of why the sizes are just like they are at the moment. So we'll go back to the CSS. So we can see we've just given them, we've just called dot second A, dot second B, dot second C, and we've just given them a background colour and order that we can see them. So by default we can see that these will stack top to bottom. But what we want to do here is we want to give it another flex property, and we'll say display, capitals on, and that changes it from top to bottom, from left to right. So the dot second div tag is a parent to the dot second A, dot second B, and dot second C, or the children of the parent div tags here. So what we can then, just notice I've not closed that off. We're going to put on here, in order to fill the space up, what we can do is, same as we've done before, is give that a flex property of 1. And that will give it an even amount of space across within the dot second div tag. Now, if we want to change that from horizontal to vertical, what we can do is we can go flex direction, and this time if we type in column, we can change the direction of that accordingly. Okay, so that's quite a cool little trick whereby we can nest within div tags, other div tags that can take on the parent properties and have child div tags within them. So it's quite a powerful tool if you understand the basics, and then you can implement more complicated versions of it. Now we'll move on to the next part here, where we're going to put 3 boxes into the section C area. So as you can see from the titles there, we have got the main container is the parent to the first div and the second div. The second div is parent to the dot second A div, the dot second B div, and the dot second C div. Now the dot second C div is going to have 3 children elements in it, which are going to be pictures. So what we'll do here is we will just create some space for them. I'll just delete this C out here, and I'll put in a div class pic equals pic, and I want to have 3, so I'll call this one, hold on, I'll just copy and paste that, and C, and V, and I'll have 1, 2, 3. So these div classes, pic1, pic2, pic3, are child elements to the div class second C. So this is the parent and these are the children. So again, it's nesting divs within divs to give them parent-child properties in order to really style our pages and have a lot of control over them. So let's go back to the CSS, and first things first, we'll call upon these div classes. So dot pic, and now we'll start to style them. So as usual, we'll put in, first of all, a background colour, just so that we can see where the div tag actually is, and to see also whether it's working or not, which is good practice. So there they are. We can see the space 1, space 2, space 3 is filled up with this kind of reddish brown colour. And as we've seen before, it goes from top to bottom because that's the default position of Bootstrap. So again, if we wanted to go from left to right, as the .second_c div is the parent and the .pic is the child elements, we can simply go display, and then again flex, and that is stacking them left to right. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to create some space between these as well. So if we go to justify content and we go space between, and that will give this border or margin areas between those 3 div tags. Okay, they don't have much content in them at the moment. That's why they're that small. They're only the size of the numbers contained within them. So we'll change that a little bit, and what we'll do is we'll go down to the .pic and we'll give that a width, and the width we'll say is 30%. So we'll say we want them to be 30% of the overall size of the .second_c div tag. So that's quite nice. Now imagine we put some pictures in them or we put some text inside that. We might want a little margin to go around it. So we can put in the margin here, and if we just type in say 10 pixels, or maybe even 15, that gives it a margin on the left, top, right and bottom all the way around. Now the last thing we're going to do is to put in box sizing. Here we are, and we'll type in border box, and this is just a kind of flex box feature. That means we don't really have to alter any of the size of the widths and the margins when we display our web pages. Okay, so that's that done for just now, and I hope you found that quite easy. Maybe try it yourself and look at customising it, putting different images in it, putting different text in it, and playing around with the borders, margins, and again paste that into your overall page that you did last week and practice, practice, practice. So now what I'll do is I will create another web page with working hyperlinks, images, and I'll set that as homework for you for over the holidays. So that will be you having finished this entire page, hopefully. So we have kind of header section, nav section, working nav section, and all the different flexbox tricks that we went through. So if you can understand how to do that, the homework I'll set you over the holidays will show you how to style it into a kind of fully functioning page and indeed a fully functioning website. So let me just preview this just now in the browser. Okay, so that's working quite nicely. Now what I'll do just now is I will show you how to make hyperlinks on a few buttons, and then after that, as I said, I'll make the more complicated page. Now once we finish this, what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate it 3 times, and this is now saved as week 4. So if I go, I'll just save all at the moment, just make sure everything's all correct, and then I'll say file, save as, and because I've got a design page, I will call this page design, and that takes on the HTML extension. So if I just click save that, and you can see that's generated a brand new page for me that's taken all the properties from the week 4 page. So that's basically me get two pages. And if I look at my desktop where I've saved my site in week 4, I can see that page already inside my directory. Okay, and then with that there, I'll go file, save all, and then I can create a new page, and this one I'm going to call photography. So I go File, Save As, and this one I'll call photography. Click Save, and then I get a brand new page called photography. And I can already again see that in my site directory. So the idea is I want to link the buttons to those new pages. So what I'll do first of all is I'm on the design page now, and I will just change or alter some of the text here, and I'll call this one design on the top. I'll go File, Save, Photography. I'll just slightly change that. Oh. So when I link these pages up from photography, if I click the design button, I'll go to design page, and from design I'll go to the home page like so. So I just need to make sure I save all. Okay, so the home button here. So one of the cool tricks with Dreamweaver is it helps you insert a hyperlink or write the code for you. So if we go here to insert and we click hyperlink, it gives us the required text, and it asks us where do we want to link this to. So if I click on this button here and I go to inside my directory, which is week 4, and I want to link the home button or the home page to the week 4 page, which is this one here. So I'll just select that and click OK. Click OK again, and that has wrapped round our ahref tag. Okay, so this tag here. So it's basically saying the ahref tag equals week 4 HTML. That's it opening, and that's it closing. So we can also write that by ourselves. So the second one would be the button. So we put an ahref tag around the design button. We would type in like so. You see ahref equals, and this one's called design.html. Close that tag there, and we just need to close the A tag at the end of it. Okay, so both ways will work. Oh, sorry, I don't need that one here. Both ways will work, but just for quickness, I'll select this one here, and we'll insert hyperlink. What do I want to hyperlink to? I want to hyperlink to the photography page, and then I click OK. And you can see it's generated the ahref tag around that. So if I just go File, Save All, and one little thing we need to notice here is it puts it gives it a line underneath the hyperlink, so we don't really want that. So the way that we can change that, and the easiest way to do that, is we go to File, we go to Page Properties, and we can have Appearance HTML, sorry, Links, Underline Style, and it says here Always Underline, and we can just take that off to put in Never Underline. And if you click here Apply, it will give us some extra styles in the head of our HTML, like so, and we click OK, and that gets rid of that line. Now another way to do it is we could just simply take the A-link, text decoration none, A-visited, text decoration none, and we can put that into our CSS. I've already got on the button hover, text decoration none. So either way, just whatever you feel comfortable with. It's one of the tricks that Dreamweaver gives us, so it's quite nice to use it. Let's see, so we'll go back to our buttons. Where are we? Oh, wrong way. here we are here, and the last thing we can do is we can put an external link, for example, on this one. So if we go here to insert hyperlink, if we want this button to open up a brand new page, for example to the BBC, we could tell it then we target a blank, so we target a blank browser window, and the link in here is http:// we just click that one, and we can see it's an href tag to the BBC, the target blank, which means it'll open up a brand new browser, and there it's closed off. So I'll just go File, Save All. Now that's our homepage all authored, and it means it's going to find these buttons or find these pages when you click these buttons. However, on these ones we have not made the hyperlinks yet from the design page or the photography page. So we could either go through that whole process again, or the simple way to do it is if we just go back to our week 4 page and we copy all the new links active on our buttons. We'll Command C on the design page. We can delete the buttons we have here, paste in our new ones on the photography page, delete those ones, paste in our new ones, and if we go back to our week 4, we can see that all the buttons and all the properties of the buttons have been copied to the design and photography page. Now, just another thing that occurred to me, if we look at the design page and the photography page, we don't have the properties in the head or the CSS styles in the head that we do for week 4. So the easiest thing to do here, rather than going back here and changing the page properties, the smarter thing to do would be to just simply take all the properties here, Command X, and then we'll just paste them into the CSS, and that means that they will apply for the design page and the photography page. So there's 2 ways to do it, but I think the most simple way to do it in the end is to make sure that we put all these properties in the CSS rather than working from the page properties from Dreamweaver. It's maybe good if you do it from one page, but if you're doing it for an overall site, I think the smarter thing to do is to do it this way. So if we go File, Save All, and then I go File, Preview, I should see these buttons working. So if I go to the design page, you can now see it's went to the design page, photography page, back to design, back to home, and if I click the portfolio page, that should open up a new browser window and go to the BBC. Yep, that's working. So that's the end of the week 6 lesson tutorial, and I hope you found that okay. I'm going to make another 2 or 3 videos making small websites. So the next one I'll notify you on Friday. I'll give you an email and I'll let you know when that's ready, and you can practice that throughout the holidays. So essentially what I'm going to try and do is build something like this from scratch, with working with images, and then what I want to do after that is to do different variations of it to give you an idea of what you'll have to do for the pre-exam and also the exam. So please keep working away on this, keep customizing it, work out how all the main items and parts work, and as I said, by Friday I'll give you another video in order you to prepare over the holidays for the actual pre-exam. Okay, so we'll see you, have a nice holiday, and I'll see you in week 7. Okay, bye bye.